Hey guys, it is Nick here with another Nick's Topics Lord of the Rings What If topic video for today. And today, this is going to be the last Lord of the Rings topic because Lord of the Rings is just the shorter of all the series I've covered in general. But I hope you guys still have enjoyed them, and I hope you guys will enjoy this certain What If today. But before we begin, make sure to like, subscribe if you enjoyed the videos and want to see more. And without further ado, let's get into it. This what if concerns what if Gandalf never fell in the mines of Moria and actually went with the group with the rest of the time. Now, originally, he fought against the Balrog and cast him off the bridge and ultimately fell in the end because the Balrog grabbed onto him. But, to set the scene for this one, let's just say that Gandalf manages to throw him off, and the Balrog this time does not retaliate, or even if he does, Gandalf anticipates this and pushes him down farther. Either way, Gandalf is now with the Fellowship for good. But this did not kill the Balrog, as you might have already known. The Balrog would still be alive, and whether it would still track the group or not afterwards would be hard to anticipate or think about. But because also he was cast down a very long ways from the bridge and stuff, it would be a long fall. But there is one thing we have to take in account: the ring. We don't know if the One Ring would have influence for the Balrog, because all we know is that the Balrog was awakened after, Merry and Pippin, or Pippin mainly, made the noise. But who's to say that the One Ring's influence wouldn't make the Balrog follow? But we'll get to that in a second. So the group goes to Lothlorien like they do in the original story, except this time, Gandalf is there with the Fellowship this time. The group is just entering Lothlorien right at that moment when all of a sudden they feel and hear a familiar and strong presence in the land of elves. The Balrog has returned, guided by the One Ring's influence to grab it no matter the cost, and as for vengeance against Gandalf on its own accord. This time, Gandalf knows that no simple push will be able to stop this beast this time. He thought that he'd gotten rid of it, but this time, he wants to get rid of it for good. So he once again makes a standoff against the Balrog, hoping this time to finish it off once and for all. Now, for those of you thinking that he's just going to die like he did originally and become Gandalf the White, I don't think so. Because now they're in Lothlorien, they have the Guide of the Elves also with their group, and with Lady Galadriel. With all of that help, plus himself, Gandalf will be able to defeat the Balrog quite easily here, if you didn't already guess. So the Balrog is ultimately defeated, and Gandalf still remains with the group. Now, everything goes down per normal, like it does originally. Frodo offers Galadriel the ring, she refuses, says she passed the test, pretty much everything goes down. And they go to Amon Hen, or Amon Hen, if that's however you want to say it. And Frodo, in the end, even though Gandalf is still with the group, he still feels like the ring is his burden, and that he must take the mission by himself, because he also starts to see the ring's influence on other people, notably, like the original, Boromir. And pretty much like the original, he goes off anyway, even though Gandalf is still there. For those of you thinking that he just went off because Gandalf died, that is part of the reason. But the main reason is Frodo felt that the One Ring was his burden and his alone. That's why he went off originally. So I feel like the same instance would go down here regardless. Now, it's unpredictable to know where the story would go from here. Because on one hand, with Gandalf being there, if he went with Frodo instead of Sam, then the journey would be much easier and Gollum would be taken out right there. Or if he wasn't, Gandalf would be able to control him, and Gollum wouldn't be able to trick him as easily as Sam. Speaking of Sam, if he went with them, that would be extra insurance. But if he went with Frodo instead of Gandalf, then the journey would pretty much play out the exact same way as it did per normal, except this time Gandalf and Boromir would be alive and be much more help. Merry and Pippin might not have gotten taken. But that's pretty much where the story would end. It's a bit unpredictable near, that endpoint to say where the story would go from there. But those two sides, roughly, are the two good sides that I think could make for the story to end. But what do you guys think? Do you think that something like this could have happened? What do you think could have happened had Gandalf stayed with the Fellowship instead of falling off when fighting the Balrog? Hope you guys enjoyed. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video and want to see more. Hope you guys enjoyed my Lord of the Rings what-ifs, and I'll see you guys next time.